All right, so that is where my old Plow Point shelter used to be. This is all the debris and dead fall that I had leaned up against all the plastic, and I had a ridge pole going right here. And I moved back to my old spot. There's my daughter in there. What we used was I thought it was a 6x8, but it wasn't more than 5x8. But I just put this tarp up, and these are the trees that my old one was done. But what we did was we had bent this one down and tied it off. So now we just have this is what it looks like from the back. All I've done is I tied it here, and at the bottom on the grommets on the sides. And then I have two poles going like this, so they meet at the top and go down to the bottom, and then it's just weighed down across the back with these guys. They're a little extra long, but I will use those poles. I've made 3 shelters using those poles now, so I recycle all this. My main ridge pole that is holding it up is actually secured and held by these. So the only tie-offs I have are right here, and this is just the inner string of some paracord. I just took like a 2-foot piece and gutted it, and that's all that I had to use to build this. And then I took the some of the extra plastic, and that's just kind of wadded around there, but that's just a windbreak on the sides. So I did the same thing on this. So that's just a couple of scrap pieces. I have plenty of firewood now that will burn all night, and that's just the dry stuff that I usually keep in the shelter. I'll probably throw all this in the shelter when I go to leave, but I have plenty of plastic. That's actually big enough that I could actually pull this across here and make an A-frame. And eventually I will move my fire pit. I'll take that and put it back in the front here, so that like if I close that off, I can move it around. The fire pit is mainly that main rock, that rock, and then there's 2 rocks here that form the basis to set this grate across the top, and then it's 1 in the front. So there's basically 5 rocks that are the core of my fire pit, and I've moved this fire pit now. And it's a great setup. I've got videos where I'm cooking coffee and rabbit, and I've got like 5 different things on it going at once, and it's a nice setup. So I'm going to keep that. That's going to be a deal. That's one of, actually, this can isn't garbage. This is actually a can that we cook, we make coffee in. So this was dinner one day, then I washed it out down at the waterfall and the creek, and then brought it back, and we actually make coffee out of this. So this is how we make our cowboy coffee. So anyway, so this is going to be my summer shelter. Yes, you can see light through it. This is simply a rain and shade source, a windbreak, and because it needs to be kind of airy. Where this one was sitting, you can see the footprint here on it. It went up from here. It was a Plow Point configuration, and it was holding moisture. So I actually had bugs and stuff moving into it because I basically made a cave. So I couldn't keep that going through the summer. And I didn't want to come here and one day have a skunk or something moving the back of it. And that's my worst fear about being out here, is run to a skunk or something like that. I've had armadillos run across there before. So anyways, we're gonna move on to the creek, I think, and make some lunch and probably do some fishing.